and now I'm dying, and I know I'm dying. And the room is starting to get smaller. The roof, the ceiling popped off. I could see stars, and the walls of the room were starting to become liquid and come closer and closer. And I had read many accounts of near-death experiences, and that I heard about a tunnel, that, okay, when you die, you go into a tunnel. And I thought, oh my goodness, these walls are getting closer. I think this must be how the tunnel is formed. So I was very lucid. Because I was not in pain at that time, I was noticing and listening to everything because I didn't know what was happening to me. And the doctors were not, and I don't want to say this disparagingly because they saved my life and it was a dire situation, again, 5 minutes. But they weren't talking to me and holding my hand and telling me it's going to be okay. They were just talking to each other. And I heard them say that they did not have a heartbeat they had lost the heartbeat on the baby. And as a mother, you want your child to live. It was my concern that they save my baby. And the only way to do this in such a quick manner, without anesthesia, without even being in an operating room, an aspirin, oxygen, a warm blanket, none of that. They held my arms and legs down and cut me all the way down to get to my baby very quickly. And that's when the pain started. That's when it was very, very painful. And they move organs and things around, trying to get to the baby. And there had just been so much trauma and so much pain that I ended up popping out of my body. It was the most soft little pop. It wasn't scary. It wasn't painful or anything. Yes. So I would say to your audience that, how you die can be painful, but dying itself is not. And it's not scary and it's not unfamiliar. It is, honestly, it's something that we've done before. And it feels almost like riding a bike because how you jump on and you go. It just didn't seem like a big thing where I was now floating above my body and going, oh, my poor body, or I worked so hard or whatever, or, I didn't look at my body as me, because me was okay. Claudia was still okay. I was looking basically down at the suit that I wore to live on Earth. It was my space suit, my Earth suit. It went to the gym and it loved, macaroni and cheese and all of the wonderful things that a body, but it was just a nice pair of overalls that I was done with. And now I was free. And I started floating through the hospital, and I didn't even go, oh, I'm dead. It just seemed so normal. Everything that I was doing, going through a wall, I heard this music, and I wanted to follow the music. And I ended up in a man's room, and he was watching television. It was the MASH music from that show, MASH. And as I got to the side of his bed, I realized that he didn't see me. And I kind of got in front of him and did a little, and there was nothing. He didn't see me. And that's when I went, oh, I must be dead. And as soon as I had that realization, I popped out of that situation, and I was in complete black. It was so perfectly black, dark. I couldn't see anything. There was no noise. There was no need to hear. I was just in a perfect place that was forever. the vastness of it was hard to speak about. And yet I was curled up in it and swaddled and cradled in this. It was intelligent. It knew me. It knew everything about me, and it loved me. It loved me so much. And I was so perfectly safe and happy in this place of perfect nothingness. It was wonderful. And I could have stayed there forever. I was happy there. But I could hear the nurse calling my name. And I reached for this ear because this seems to be where I was hearing it. And it was itchy and scratchy voice because I was in this perfect quiet. And now here comes this voice, Claudia, you've got to come back. You have a baby girl. She needs you. Well, in my head, my mind, I'm searching for words because I didn't have either really. But in my consciousness, I was arguing with them because I was like, no, my baby died. And, I don't want to go back to all of that. It was just awful. And she just kept calling for me to come back. And I decided that she wasn't going to stop until I answered her. And so I was pulling every resource in my consciousness to form a word to say, no, just leave me alone. I'm fine. I'm going to stay here. But as soon as I tried to speak back to this voice, I was back in my body.